No one's going to go for it. Okay, we're on page 138, and we've been talking about, even though we have to do hishtadlus, we have to put in effort for various things in our lives, nevertheless, we also have to have bitachon, that our success comes from Hashem. It's a very difficult thing to do. I mentioned the story a few times. I want to mention it again because I think it's very important. Rabbi Rubashkin, when he was in prison, he said the easiest time to have bitachon was when all of his appeals were exhausted. When there were no natural means to get out of jail, that's when he was able to have the best bitachon in Hashem, that if he's going to get out of jail, it's only going to be because Hashem wants him to get out of jail. Because when he was trying to use the earthly means to get out of prison, his various appeals and things, it's hard because on one hand I'm putting in my own efforts, but on the other hand, I have to believe that my success is going to come from Hashem. So in a case where I can't do anything, the only thing I have left to do is to have bitachon. But what our challenge is, Baruch Hashem, none of us are in prison, and Baruch Hashem, none of us are in that situation, but we go to work and we try to make a living. And we still have to have bitachon, even though we're putting in our own efforts. It's a little harder to have bitachon because in the end we're doing something. We have to have bitachon and trust that it's all coming from Hashem. Okay, page 138. Now, just like we were talking about our sustenance, so too when it comes to our health. A person should trust in Hashem when it comes to his health. Nevertheless, though, a person should try to keep healthy. Right? You can't smoke 10 cigarettes every day for your life and then just say, "Oh, Hashem, how'd I get lung cancer? How'd you do that to me?" You have to have bitachon Hashem, but we also have to put in a normal amount of effort to guard our health. And when we get sick, we have to go to the doctor. Like Hashem says, it's a mitzvah to heal ourselves, to go to the doctor. But the challenge is that even though we're going to the doctor, we have to say that even the doctor is giving me medicine, I have to believe that it's Hashem who's making me better, and Hashem can make me better whether it's from the natural means, whether it's from the antibiotic, or from some other means that has nothing to do with the antibiotic. That's why it's a big challenge for doctors. Doctors, they have there's a big yetzer hara to feel arrogant, that they feel that they're the ones who are making people healthy. They just did, a surgeon. It's like a quarterback, like a football star. He's performing these intricate operations on a person, and he thinks, "Wow, I just did a bypass. I just saved this guy's life," which is true. But he has to believe that really it's coming from Hashem. So there's a very slippery slope to arrogance over there. Because when a person, here he says, he brings a nice story here, an example, like it's ice and snow outside, so you shouldn't go outside in like a bathing suit without shoes on, running in the ice and snow and say, "Oh, Hashem will make me healthy." And he writes here, Rabbi Cheskel Abramsky, he says he was a very sick child, and he said his mother had to wrap him in several blankets whenever he went outside, because the slightest breeze would give him a cold, and he would have a cold for days. He said even when he was older, he would constantly get colds, and he was sent to Siberia at one point of his life. He was in the Soviet Union, and they made them run laps around the barracks every morning without shoes on in the snow. And all he said is that he said when he got there, he said that they have his tefillah that he says on the bottom, "Hashem, your Torah obligates us to protect ourselves from the elements, and teaches that if we fail to do so, we are liable for letting ourselves become ill. Here, however, I cannot obtain warm clothing, and my oppressors force me to remove even that which I have. I am therefore absolved of this responsibility, and the preservation of my health reverts completely to you. Accordingly, I beg you, protect me, Hashem, for I have sought refuge in you." And he said during that time in Siberia, he never got sick once. So, if we have the ability, we should protect ourselves. But if we can't, Chas Shalom, if we're sent to Siberia, then in a way that's kind of like Rubashkin. Like there's nothing I can do, so I'm just going to have trust in Hashem because I can't do anything else. When a person has trust in Hashem, he'll make a person feel better, whether it's from the natural means, through taking the antibiotics, or from some other means that seemingly has nothing to do with anything. And he's going to bring examples in the Torah and Tanakh where we find people that were healed with things that should not have healed them. It says, Yishlach devar over Yirpa'im. Hashem sends His word and they are healed. It's possible that Hashem could heal a person with something that's going to hurt him. Moshe Adata Me'inyan Elisha b'mayim arayim sheripe hazekam b'melach. In the times of Elisha, there was water that was very bad. They couldn't drink it. So what did he do? He put in salt, and the salt made the water better. The point is that salt shouldn't make water taste better and shouldn't make it drinkable. But since it's really coming from Hashem, you could do the opposite thing, and really it's going to be fun. K'moshe Kosov, it says, "V'hamayim rayim va'aretz mishakelis." The water was bad and the earth was deadly. V'chein, it says, "V'yorehu Hashem eitz v'yashlech alamayim." Moshe, in Mara, he took a stick and he threw it in the water. V'amruk hakadmainim, the early sages say, "Shaya eitz shel hardufni." The stick that he threw in the water was a hardufni. The hardufni stick is a poisonous stick. But he threw a poisonous stick in bad water, and that made the water okay. Because it's coming to Hashem, it doesn't matter. V'kamon, also it says, Yeshaya Yisuf develops to Einim v'yimruchu al hashchin vayechi. King Chizkiyahu was told to put this like fig date thing, the cake of figs. He had like boils on his skin. He was told to put these cakes of figs on his boils. And I've never done this, but apparently fig cake, if you put it on your skin, it will irritate the skin. And he put it on his boils, and it made them get better. We all know what happened with King Asa when he trusted in the doctors. And he abandoned his trust in Hashem. For he inflicts pain and bandages it, he crushes, and his hands heal. So King Asa, did not put his he did not put his faith in Hashem, and because of that, he didn't merit to live, and he put his faith in the doctors. Again, this is a very, very hard challenge. So how do we do it? How do we get to the point where, we're going to the doctor, we're going through all the motions of bitachon and trust in Hashem. We're going through all the motions that we're the ones in control, but really we have to have trust in Hashem. So to answer something I mentioned on Thursday to Steve, I saw it quoted in the Tanya. Tanya says that the word emuna, faith, is the same word as uman, a worker. That getting this type of belief demands constant work. Work. That we have to, every time in our life when we're going, chas v'shalom, a sickness, or we're going to make a livelihood, or whatever it is, we have to have in the back of our heads and tell ourselves, my trust is really coming from Hashem. And we do this for years and years, and we're like an uman, a faithful worker that practices this every day. Then we'll get to the point where we'll really believe deep inside that everything is coming from Hashem.